Hi there, and welcome to the second lesson in our first level course on our monetary system, and we're talking about the history of money. Now in this lesson we're going to talk about the invention of the bank. Okay, so in the last lesson we talked about how money was invented, why it came around, and the need that we had for money as a system of exchange between two unequal items. Okay, excuse me. Now, of course, that works, but then it means that all of a sudden you're wandering around with these pieces of money or coins or whatever it is that would have been used at first as money. You're walking around with a lot of this stuff on you or in your house or wherever it is that you decided to keep your money. Okay, and because the money in itself has value, because it can be used to interchange it for other items, all of a sudden this money becomes valuable in the eyes of other people, and that causes a problem of jealousy and of envy, because if you've got more money than somebody else and you can buy stuff that they can't, then that could lead the person who is poorer than you, who has less money than you do, to want to steal that money from you. So what started to happen is as people started to make more and more money, and money started to become more and more popular, so did theft. Okay, now the way that we found as a species to get around that is that somebody invented the banking system. Now the banking system, when it first came about, was nothing more than somebody with a safe box, a strong box in which you could deposit your money, and then in exchange for that, this person would give you a piece of paper that said, Bank of Philip, that's me, okay, Bank of Philip promises to pay the bearer on demand 10 monies. Okay, now this piece of paper, then what we did was those pieces of paper could be exchanged in the place of money, but the paper itself had no intrinsic value, okay? And it was only able to be used by the person who was carrying it, all right? So that's how the banking system started. It was just basically a way for people to be able to store their money in one place safely, and then be able to use something else that could be carried around a lot easier and was more difficult to be stolen, instead of just being weighed down by money and worrying constantly about where your money was and what was happening. Now, if the banking system had stayed like that, then we wouldn't be in the problems that we're in at the minute with the banking system, because the banks actually didn't make any money. They didn't negotiate with your money. All they did was store it to make sure that it was in a safe place and you could not worry about the location of your money. Okay. Unfortunately, it didn't stay like that. And bankers decided that all of a sudden they had a lot of money in their possession that was doing nothing. It was just sitting in a box. So in the next lesson, this has just been a very, very short lesson, because there isn't much to the banking system, the original banking system, other than a safe box where money could be stored, and then people could negotiate just with pieces of paper that had no value whatsoever. Okay. In the next lesson, we're going to look at how the banks started to negotiate with that money that they had, and how in the beginning it wasn't such a problem. But with the invention of interest, our banking system just got completely broken and has turned it into the monstrosity of a system that we have right now. Okay, I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.